right. Started practices yesterday as we begin conference play. Obviously, Stanford coming in to Autzen this weekend. A lot of carryover from what we see from our defense. You know, the same school from a defensive schematic standpoint, and certainly they've done a great job over the years. So our guys are really fired up, and you know, preparations are in full swing. Really good practice yesterday to get things going.
You sort of touched on this already, but they've got a reputation for great line play as a former or maybe current offensive line coach yourself.
To the day I die, O-line, baby.
Sort of your feeling of where they are this year and if their line stocks up to what it has been in the past.
Oh, they're excellent. They're excellent. You know, there was a lot of crossover recruiting some of those guys at the previous place I was at, so study them well. You know, Coach Shaw does a great job with calling the offense and implementing schematic, that involve heavy physicality, you know, connotation to them. They really stress it. They get downhill in it. But they're athletic to get the ball outside as well. Some of their outside zone stuff, some of their pin and pull stuff. They get to, they're pretty diverse in what they do. They're not just running power O or counter. They do some things that could really present some issues, and you've got to study them really well. You've got to do a great job playing your blocks as opposed to just looking for the ball. You got to have discipline up front because they will try to expose the C gaps. You know, if you're in certain fronts, they'll try to get two hats on one and try to knock back the line of scrimmage. So, again, it's something. And our guys are used to a lot of those plays that we run as an offense as well. So I think there's a lot of carryover heading into, our heavy practice days on Tuesday and Wednesday. And it kind of helps us a little bit because we could go more of the good on good stuff like we've been doing the past couple of weeks.
Last season, obviously, you were in a different role, but against Stanford, you guys had a combined 33 passing yards. How huge is it to obviously have Justin in the lineup this time around?
Well, I think we all know he's a difference maker. Certainly, it does help. And again, I don't want to knock our quarterback situation at the time. We did focus on running the football. And we did rack up a significant amount of yards. That was a game plan. We tried to eat up and chew up some clock, knowing that our passing game was out of sync. We weren't quite at the level that we were performing at early in the season. So, but to win games, you've got to have balance, especially when you get in a conference play. If you become one-dimensional and you're much easier to defend, it's tough sledding. So, is it important? Yeah, it's critically important for us. And just as important as that is protection, right? Just as important as that is making sure we secure the football. You're looking at a team that prides itself in Stanford, about knocking the ball out and stripping the ball. And when you watch film, it really stands out. It's important that our scout team this week does a great job at every opportunity, yanking at the ball, raking at the ball, punching it out to really simulate what we're going to be playing against on Saturday.
Justin's had four straight games with a sack. I think Jelks is just behind him. Can you maybe speak just about their play the last 3 weeks and their importance of contain against Stanford and preventing Bryce Love from bouncing outside? Yeah,
they'll play a huge role. The entire defensive front will. You know, Justin and Jalen, what they do extremely well is they use their length. You know, they could get their arms or hands on guys and maintain separation. They could find the ball carrier, get rid of blockers. You know, they strike blockers extremely well also. They've got a lot of slither to them. They could close on the quarterback. They could close on ball carriers. They are talented guys that are playing with a chip on their shoulder, real high motor guys. And I think when you have a guy like Jordan in the middle, who is unheralded, right? Because the stat line is not going to light his name up every Saturday. But what you see is a guy that has done a great job controlling the center and the A gaps, forcing things to bounce. So they complement each other really well. And of course, Troy helps that out. The whole defense, does that. And, we've done a really, really good job against the run. And all those guys have worked together, along with our coaches to make that a reality.
Historically, Stanford's been a tough matchup for Oregon just because of the way they play is different from a lot of other teams in the Pac-12. When you think about the mentality that you want to play with, do you feel like this is the kind of game where that should show up against a big physical team like Stanford?
It has to. It has to. They take a lot of pride in that, and I think that's the way football should be approached. It should be, and it's been no secret that since day one, all the way back in January, from the offseason program to our approach to practice, heck, everything we do from a mentality standpoint, it's preaching and doing it and working, physicality, toughness, effort, playing smart football, and making sure you control the line of scrimmage. So, no, a team like this is you need to meet a team like this head on. and you've got to play your best football. You've got to play with great technique, and you've got to play with toughness. Because again, there's probably not going to be a million snaps this game, right? So every single snap has that much more value, and our guys are really looking forward to it.